on the night.
What's good, YouTube? It's your girl Bofina1, bringing you guys in another YouTube video. And so I know most of you, watching or that watch my channel play video games, in some form, play video games for some form of entertainment, whether it's to, relieve stress, get away from problems, or, whatever it may be. You kind of get where I'm going with this. And so I recently read an article called How Video Games Affect the Brain. I will have a link down to the article down below in the description box, so you can check it out, kind of read it, for yourself. But do you guys really know how video games, in a sense, can affect the brain? A lot of people know, it's for pleasure, it's for fun, you can make friends, but how does it actually really affect your brain? Like, do gamers act differently than, let's say, people that have interest in another hobby? But from reading the article, it states that, for most younger children, parents have noticed a positive outcome. So, a lot of time for younger kids, younger games typically are like educational, so there's not necessarily all games, but if you are a parent and you want your child to learn, you can use video games as a way for them to, learn different things, like, learn their ABCs, learning how to calculate numbers, like just learning little things like that in a video game form. And that helps them, maybe pick up something better or easier that they can't necessarily pick up in a school setting. But although it helps them when they're younger, parents have noticed that as their children get older and they keep playing video games, it kind of, it's not the same effect. It's not so much for learning, it's more so like for entertainment and pleasure, which is fine, but it does affect the, the brain performance and the structure. So for example, such as your attention span. Video game displays improvement in sustained and selective attention. So basically being able to pay attention for a period of time or a longer period of time. Also, playing video games increases the size and competence of parts of the brain. So basically what I mean by sustained and selective attention is like, if you are, let's say, depending on the type of games that you play, certain games require a lot of hours. Like, let's say open world games, you may have to spend, so many hours a day, so many hours a week to play, to craft, to, do whatever it is that you need to do in the game. So that means that you have to sit there and you have to be attentive, pay attention to something for a period of time. So basically the article is saying that people that play video games, I guess depending on the type of genre specifically, that you are able to pay attention to things a lot longer than, let's say, someone that doesn't. As well as having an understanding the difference between like visual and spatial. So, differentiating between that, and that's something that I know a lot of females have an issue with. Spatial being like making parts or like objects using Lego blocks, being able to visually see something. So because you're playing video games, you're constantly visually seeing, your character move, visually seeing your character attack somebody, you're constantly seeing a visualization of something. However, the downside of video games is a lot of times they can become, addicting. And the reason that, gaming does become addictive for some people is because the feeling of pleasure, learning, and motivation. So pleasure, because it may relieve stress. You may just genuinely enjoy video games. Learning, because although you may not be learning something necessarily school related, but you may be learning something new in the game that you might find interesting. And motivation, because certain games that reward you for doing certain things, it motivates you to keep wanting to play the game more and more. So now that you understand the ways, video games can affect the brain, I kind of want to say how I feel. Me personally, I think it does make sense that if you do play video games, your attention to things probably will be longer because you are playing a game, depending on the game, for a long period of time. In terms of the structure and stuff, I mean, it probably does a little bit. It probably does affect things a little bit, but I don't really think it's that big. I feel like a lot of it is like the person, like, do you have an addictive personality, or do you get addicted to things very easy, or, like basically like that, like, are you an addictive person? So I feel like it kind of can go both ways. And then that's with anything, there's a limit of how much you should be playing games. Are you playing games to the point where it's like, okay, you have a problem, or you just play them casually, and that's anything in life. Too much of anything is not good for you. Those are my thoughts, and talking about the article, how video games affect the brain. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and let me know what you guys thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you feel like video games affect the brain, your brain? Do you feel like it's affected you? Do you know anybody that maybe it has affected? So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Peace, Fan Army.